to come on and show you quick bread. I already have in here a cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of milk, and we're going to add 2 eggs to this. Some people had called for an order, and I thought, well, I'd come on and show it to you because it's super easy and stuff. I had my workouts today. I was pulling 205 again, and I got 2 reps up in the last round. I almost had a 3rd rep up, but I ended up, got to the point where it came ready to go up, but then I lost my form, and I went too quick, and then I couldn't get it up. So, but I was really proud of 205 because that is like, everybody's like, what are you pulling today, Elvira? You're just over there killing it. And then I had 3 rounds of, I did 135, 12 reps, and then I did 155, 12 reps, 2 rounds. And then I had squats, and I squatted, what was it, 54 squats. And then I had my leg day with my other trainer. My one trainer, both trainers are strength conditioning coaches. One works for college here. And then my other trainer, he's one of those WWMA wrestlers and stuff. So. And then we're going to add, we have a 1/2 cup of melted butter in here. And then we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. My measuring. When I first started, I just sort of fell into it. I think for me, when you're walking around and you can't get around because you're too heavy and stuff, and sometimes it's not about eating wrong. Mine was because I just couldn't afford to eat the right things, but also if you don't eat a lot, you stuff, and people can say, what I've learned is people make fun of people all the time, or they're just jealous. And it's not about jealousy. We all have the same opportunities in life. It's how you take those opportunities. For me, it was more or less concentrating on myself because I was just too heavy, and I knew that I needed to get the weight off because they told me if I didn't get the weight off, I would be dead by April of 2018. This wasn't a joke anymore. This was basically my life. I made the decision that I wanted to live, and it was hard. I mean, there was times I was crying. I used to go home and cry and call my best friend and stuff and say, man, I don't know if I can do this, and I'm in a city all by myself, state all by myself. It's not like I have family right around the corner. I didn't. And 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla here. Or this is the almond we're going to use first. And, you have to really think about it. Vanilla, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. And I decided that, I wanted to go home one day. And I thought, you know what, I wanted to go home. Well, then my niece got married in 2020, and I went back. And they were so proud of me. They go, Auntie, we're so proud of you. You're so proud, And I just checked out this week. I checked out a pair of jeans, and I'm down to a size 10. I'm so proud of myself, and getting that far down because it's not easy. And what I find is when we're in the gym, nobody cares, we don't care about looking. And we have people coming in the other day, and people come in and they're just like me. I know when I would ask them, is there a certain time when there's not a lot of people, because here I am so fat and I need to get the weight off. And that's what I was looking at, and my trainers, we wondered sometimes if I was going to have that heart attack and die, or whatever. And I never did. I got a second chance at life, so I try to explain to people, if you get in that gym, you can do what you need to do. I also, on the weekends, I take a detox bath. I use anodized sea salt, baking soda, and I have herb oils, essential oils that are homemade that I buy from somebody, and stuff. So I do all that. So we're going to set this to a side. I mixed all that in. And I have 1 1/4 cup of flour here all ready to go. And then we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And so anyways, getting back to that. So it was like, wow, do I really want to do this? And I was like all the time just like always going home crying. And my trainer even laughed, and he remembered that. He's like, I remember I used to kick your ass. And I was like, yeah, you did. And where I'm at today is just like today he says 245s on the sled, and I've pulled 405 on the sled, so it's like 245s, 10 reps, not going, without stopping. And half teaspoon of ginger. Or no, this is a ginger and nutmeg. This is my nutmeg, but I got ginger there too. And I've been up since 5 in the morning, so I'm tired. And I worked out 4 hours. I had a 20-minute break, and one of the other trainers like, "Hey, Elvira, you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm taking my power nap here. I got to squat yet." And they go, "What do you got left?" And I said, "I still got to work out with my other trainer, Dan." And I said, they said, "Oh, that's right." So then somebody's like, "How do you do it?" And I said, "Well, wait, I'll be hurting later." And I started to get a little bit today because I was doing a certain type of squat where you're going down, and I got down. I was able to do 125. I wasn't doing the form, but I think a lot has to do. So I do good with 125 Thursdays, but I had already deadlift, and that was I already deadlifted, and then and he's like, "Oh," and because he told me today, he says, "Well, I'm waiting for him." Andrew's like, "Get down here, you guys squat." I said, "Oh yeah, shit, I got those squats," and I was like, "Ugh," and stuff that I did. So it was like, okay, and for me, getting back to that, I always picked the time at the gym when there wasn't a lot of people because I was afraid. Now I'm not afraid. I can hold my head high because it's like, wow, I can actually hold my head high and realize that, geez, I can do this, And it's, one guy said today, I caught a guy and a husband and wife team. They were working out. They just started, and they says, "Man, I want to get like you to power lift, And I chalk good because I wear the chalk. And I had chalk all over my hands, and just like today when Andrew said to me, he's like, "Chalk up." He said, "Let's go." And I did. I had to chalk up, and then I go, and he's like, "Come on, come on." And what I had done wrong is when I went to pick up, so I slammed it down, picked back up, no problem. But that third rep, I was like pissed at myself. I was like, "Okay, I got this." And he's like, "I'm not mad at you." He says, he said, "These reps are good. I mean, excellent reps, 205. And usually I'll pull 215. That's a max rep." So I was like, "Yes, and I wanted to get it." And he's like, "You'll get there." He says, "I'm so proud of you." And we need a teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon. And he's like, "You have come so far." And that's one reason I stay where I'm at, because of my trainers. My trainers, I pretty much say, they tell me, "Well, it's because of you, that's why you're still alive." Well, it's also because of them, because they didn't make fun of me. They didn't care. They were there to help me. It wasn't about the money. Most people say, "Oh, it's about money." No, sometimes if you get the right trainer, they'll help you, and they'll give you to where you need to be. And then just like one day, I was like, I wanted to squat, and I couldn't squat. And just like today, I squatted, and he's like, "Push your knees down." He's pushing my knees down, and I'm like, "Andrew, I'm like almost to tears in my eyes." He says, "Yeah." He says, "Because these muscles I've never used before." And I was like, "Oh." And then, so we were doing all that, and it was just like really crazy, but yeah, and stuff, and it's pretty fun. That's what I like about it. Tuesday, Thursdays are my long day, because Thursdays I have circuit, which means that's a long one. And they'll be like, one day somebody's like, "Man, you're making me sick." I said, "Yeah, when I first started circuits, I said, yeah, I'd go home and Ralph," which means throw up. I was like, everybody's like, "Are you Ralphing in the gym?" And I said, "You think I'm stupid? I'm not going to look that foolish." So what I did is I would go home, and I felt it, and I'd get dizzy. Now, sometimes I forget to breathe, and if you don't breathe right, you can get dizzy when you're doing a lot of reps, because all of a sudden you're getting lightheaded, and I've done that before, and I've had to go and say, "Hey, I got to stop a minute because I got lightheaded," and I've done that when you're doing, when we do arms or AMRAPs, which is as many reps as you can. I always forget to breathe, and he would be like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Breathe," and then stuff, and it's like, "Oh, yeah, I forgot." And we gotta add the peanut butter, and then we gotta do that, but yeah. Okay. I always tie my hair up too. I have my hair up in a bun because I get just too sweaty, and I don't have time to undie it. One day, I remember this, I had my bun and it came down. Andrew's like pulling back on my bun like this, and my hair's going like this back, and it's like, they're like, "Man, you're cruel to her." And he's like, "Yeah, everybody probably thinks I hate her, but," he says, "I love her to death." And out of the people that I started out with, kids that are professional athletes and stuff, they're like, "Elvira, we're so proud of you." that's the thing, people in there, we're like a little family. People were there. We're there for a purpose. It's not about, oh, this, that, and everything. And that's how I look at it. Big time. And that's what I like about it. Now we get the whisk. I need the egg beater for this one. Yeah, I better get the lumps out. We only need the egg beater maybe like 30 seconds. Like there. But yeah, and people will find that it's a lot of fun. I think it is. I think it's cute that people want to always be like me, and it's like, wow. It's not about being like with somebody or being jealous of somebody. It's just about being healthy. And that's what people need to realize. It's about being healthy. We just got to beat this for about 30 seconds with the egg beater. And then put them in the pan. Excuse me. And go. And then I can listen. I got to do another intel report for work. I have one more intel report before my reports come in for tonight for work. A lot of times I go to bed early because I'm too tired. And then I have a Zoom meeting on Thursdays. Thursdays are my long, long days. But they let me do my workouts and stuff. We're all based all over the United States, so it's like, depending on where you're based at in our time, that's how you do it. Okay. This is so easy. And I already have the pans already floured and stuff. Yeah, the thing I think for me is the powerlifting. That's what I love. I like my deadlifting. That's probably one of the best things, and I'm really strong, and I like that. I was leg pulling today, leg pressing 270, 15 reps, and towards the end there, my legs started to cramp. And Dan's like, you better slow them down. He says, that's not what we're doing, to get through it. So that's what the one looks like. Just sometimes my legs will cramp, but it happens. It doesn't matter. It happens to the best of us, because sometimes we'll be like too heavy, and I'll just like, man, even people that are professionals are like, man, this is too heavy. And we all start laughing, and stuff like that, because that's what we do. We'll be like, man, this is way too heavy. Right. But I have a lot of calluses on my hands because I do a lot of heavy powerlifting, so. Tomorrow is arm day, but it's a little mild day. So it's not too bad. As you can see, like there on my hands, you'll see the calluses and stuff, and that's just part of it, it's just part of the deadlifting and stuff. Sometimes I have blisters on my hands, but I don't care. I'll be hurting tonight. And I just gotta make sure I have enough water in me, because if I don't, I'll be cramping in the middle of the night, and I'll be getting up and I'll be like praying to God and the angels and crying because I hurt so bad. But we got these ready to go. And I will be back with the calorie count in about 35 minutes. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, work out, put God and the angels in your life, always love yourself, put yourself number one. And don't worry if people are jealous of you, don't worry if they put you down, don't worry if they make lies about you. You know what? Because just remember, they don't know you. Always remember, you're this beautiful person inside and out, and you deserve that. You deserve to be who you are. Everybody's a human being, and everybody deserves to be loved. We all have God and our angels in our life. See you soon. Bye.